Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Aaron Wacker. I am in the School of Music. I teach music education and I'm the coordinator of the program. I am here to talk to you about using mindfulness moments in our classroom to improve student engagement and also overall wellness of the students. To start though, I would like to invite us all to sit up nice and tall, put both feet on the floor, put your arms in a nice relaxed position, maybe on your knees or legs. If it's relaxed to be on the table, that's okay too, whatever is relaxed. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. If you're uncomfortable closing your eyes, just find a fixed spot in the room. For 1 minute, I would like us to focus on breathing. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep focus on your breathing. If you feel your mind wander, that's okay, let it. Just focus back in on your breathing. And I'm going to invite you to open your eyes and bring yourself back to the classroom. And that was 1 minute of meditation that I use at the beginning of my classroom that helps students focus. It takes no time out of my day or my class. We can all spare 1 minute. And that really helps us focus. I use this every time I have a job interview, which hopefully will never happen again. But when I have a job interview, when I teach a class, when I have a presentation like this, so selfishly I put this up there to help me. So I want to talk to you about these mindfulness minutes. Back in the pandemic when I was teaching and we came back from the lockdown, I was noticing my students are having a high level of stress and anxiety. I'm sure you noticed the same thing. The world was chaotic. We didn't know what was happening and they were in survival mode. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what their day-to-day life was going to be. And I noticed that learning was just not happening because of that. It continued to happen past the pandemic, but back then I was thinking, how can I help them? Because if you're on survival mode, you cannot learn. It doesn't matter how engaging we are. It doesn't matter what our content is. If they're in non-survival mode, if they can only think about this fight or flight things, they're not learning. In the pandemic, I started doing meditation because I needed something too, because my life was chaotic like all of us were. So I started to think, could this work in my classroom? And so I started to think about mindfulness activities I use and bring them into the classroom. Luckily, we have a great example of a definition of what mindfulness means. It's being in the present, so we don't have to go over that again. But I started using these things at the beginning of class. And at the start, I only had 3 or 4 activities, but we circled through them. And what I noticed is that students started to engage more with it, with the product. So if we had an 8 a.m. class, they would come in, we would do an activity, and their glossed eyes would turn into more focused eyes on the content. If they're coming from some kind of fun activity like their band or choir, and they're really energetic, we could do these activities and they focused in and calmed down more. So I am really big on giving you activities to do while we do this. So I'm going to invite you all to stand up. And always, if you're uncomfortable doing it, you don't have to do anything I ask you to do. But I'm going to invite you to stand up. I would like your feet to be planted about shoulder width apart. And we're going to do a root and rise activity. So I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if you're like me, I can actually feel my feet get like planted more on the ground. I can feel that. This time now, we need to rise. So we're going to breathe in and we're going to bring our hands up. So breathe in. And breathe out. And stretch up nice and high, however that is. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. And put it down. This is an activity that can be really engaging for students to focus, and you can sit now. You can sit. I won't make you stand again. This is that can help with engagement and focus. It takes the beginning, very basic parts of meditation, very basic parts of yoga, and combine it in the class. One of the things I'm very fortunate in my job is to go out into public schools and observe student teachers. I love doing it. I learned so much. And I was out at Colfax High School with a band program, and the students were just very talkative. They were just all over the place. And the teacher just had the students stand up for 1 second while he was giving instruction, and then have them sit down. And it was amazing. Just that small movement, about 5 to 10 seconds, the students stopped talking, they weren't on their phones, and they were engaged. We need to have movement in our classroom to help our students. This isn't just my opinion. I'm a researcher, so I like to say that the research indicates that this is very important for our students to do. Frank Diaz is a colleague of mine who is a music education researcher who studies performance anxiety in education. But this translates to everything. We know that weekly meditation is linked to lower performance anxiety. And we can also equate that to high stress environments. And we can think high stress environments are presentations, tests, discussions, class activities, anything that we do in our classrooms. We also see that mindfulness will reduce perfectionism and lower stress and anxiety. If our students, I don't know about you, but I have some students that refuse to turn in work because they're like, it's not perfect. It's like, well, that's the point. Turn it into me so I can help you give feedback. If you're perfect, why are you here, right? I'm here to help you. So this can help them get over that. And it improves emotion regulation, focus, and body awareness. And it's just really important to say this is more than relaxation. This is more than like sitting on the mountain meditating. Although if you've never done that, go ahead and try it. I love it. I want to do it soon. This is really brain-based. The science is very clear that this will help reduce stress and anxiety and increase engagement and focus in the classroom. You're probably thinking, well, Aaron, that's all well and good. You like this, it worked for you. The science is saying what the science says. What do your students think? And I'll admit that like when I first started talking to my students, they didn't really give me much. They did it. And my thought was, well, if you're just sitting there quiet and not talking, then you're engaging well enough for me. As the semester went on in my first time doing this, I was falling behind in content and I was like, I need to get caught up. I'm just gonna remove this from the beginning of the classroom. One class period, we'll get caught up, it'll be fine. I started my slides and my students noticed that we went straight into the activity instead of a mindfulness activity. And they interrupted me. They were like, Dr. Wacker, where is the mindfulness? And I was like, oh, well, we have a lot to do. And they're like, no, I'm really stressed and I have high anxiety. And I was really looking forward to doing this. Can we please do that? And that was the most feedback that I could ever wish for. Outside of my opinion or the science opinion, the students really want it. So I continue doing this to this day and really it helps with students. One last technique I'm going to give you, and it's called the stop technique. So we're going to do a stop, take a breath, observe, and move forward, produce. Sorry, I had to think about what my P meant for a second, and proceed. So what I'm going to do is invite you to stop what you're doing. If you're playing on your computer or talking to your friend, no one's talking, obviously, but go ahead and stop what you're doing. I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I want to observe how you're feeling. Think about your body, your mind, and your thoughts, mind and feelings. It doesn't matter, don't judge, just observe them. And I want you to go ahead and proceed with your day with that new sense of purpose and relaxation. And really the last thing I'm going to leave is a takeaway here. So I have about 50 activities that I use and based on what my students need. It will always change. In this folder, and you have to be signed into WSU account just so you know it's a OneDrive folder. I have a PowerPoint that with the 50 activities that I like to just take and copy and paste into my own PowerPoints. Some people don't like that. So I also have a PDF of just a list of activities. All these have the instructions and the purpose behind them so you can tell the purpose of what we're doing. And then also in case you care about the research, the reference list is on there for my presentation. And with that, thank you.